So, thank you everyone for joining in. And today we have Azima, who is the CEO and co-founder of Connect here. She's the one of our first guest speakers today, and reason for choosing her to speak to you guys and listen to her experiences and stories is that because I personally think that she is one of those people that really inspire kids like you. So Azima, please tell the students and myself a bit about you.
Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much, Arsalan, for calling me in. It's a pleasure to be here to speak to you guys and whoever else will be joining in. So a bit about myself. My name is Azima Thanji and I run a social enterprise called Connect Here. And we work for the deaf community in Pakistan. I started my social enterprise at the age of 19, and I was at university at that time. And I just felt very strongly about the cause. I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to do something of my own, considering no one else was doing it. And I think, that was something that, pushed me, that if no one can do it, that doesn't mean that I cannot do it. And if the adults can't do it, that doesn't mean I, as a teenager, can't do it. So I think there were just so many things like that that kind of pushed me to do it during my studies. So I started right after my first year at IPA. I did my bachelor's degree from there. And after that, I managed studies and Connect Here together. Just in December 2020, I graduated from IPA, and now I'm working full time on my startup.
So, Azima, coming like up to this, yeah, idea kaise aaya? Like, how did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, of course. So my parents are deaf. I've been raised by deaf parents, and sign language is my mother tongue. It's the first language that I learned as a kid. So, growing up, I realized how I was able to understand my parents, my me, my abu, both of them very easily. And I knew that they were talented. I knew that they had so much opportunity out there, but then they struggled to like connect with the hearing community. यहाँ तक कि like उन्हें अगर फ़ोन कॉल करना होता था किसी को, या फिर अगर लाइट नहीं है और के इलेक्ट्रिक को कॉल करनी है, या फिर रिक्शे वाले से बात करनी है, डॉक्टर के पास जाना है, simplest task, it was impossible for them because communication was such a huge gap. So my parents relied on my brother and I, and if we wouldn't be available, like if I had exams or if I had parhai and I couldn't go with my mama for her doctor's appointment, that would mean that she wouldn't go at all. So I think, I was raised in such a scenario where I saw the struggles of my parents. I saw how the society treats deaf community, how they think that अगर कोई सुन नहीं सकता उसका मतलब है कि वो दिमागी तौर पर भी maybe they're not sound, maybe they're not smart. But the reality is they're so smart and they can do so much more. Both of my parents worked. I know so many deaf people who have their own businesses, who are graphic designers, who are producers, so many different things, but it's just the hearing community that lacks the understanding. So I think that, growing up, I would always see that and I would think कि कोई तो आएगा जो कि टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करेगा और पाकिस्तान में जो डेफ कम्युनिटी है उनके लिए काम करेगा. But then that moment came in my life where I was like, if no one's doing it, that doesn't mean I can't do it. And that's when I took the step and started working on Connect Here.
जिस तरह कि आपने कहा at the age of 19, right? But
Yes.
as a teenager, तो इतना कुछ और distractions होती हैं, इतना और dream professions इंसान सोच रहा होता है. तो कभी ये नहीं आया कि चलो ये side hustle रख लूंगी, लेकिन main मैं ये करूंगी. कभी ऐसा कोई thought नहीं आया?
But then when I started Connect Here, I never knew that it's gonna turn into an enterprise that's creating impact in the lives of the deaf community, of the hearing community. we started like, so two of my high school friends and I, we started it together. हम तीनों ने आखन हायर सेकेंडरी से पढ़ा था. उसके बाद one of us, she went to Habib University, I went to IBA. The third person, Arham, he was self-studying computer sciences. So we just, came together to work on this project during summer because we were like, maybe it would be a good learning experience. We went to the Nest IO, which is an incubator, and we started it off as a very small summer project. And all we did was we used to make videos on Facebook, with the goal of teaching sign language to people. But then after doing that, we got so much traction from the community. Deaf people started approaching us, companies started approaching us, events ho rahe the to wahan par log hame bula lete the. That slowly and gradually I realized that it could actually turn into a self-sustaining enterprise. So it wasn't an idea that I, began with. It was more of like being flexible, adjusting to the idea. And I mean, like any other business student, maybe I would have thought about at that time working for a multinational or getting into a corporate company. But then जैसे जैसे कनेक्टियर आईबी के साथ साथ चलता रहा, and it kept on growing, mashallah. And there were just so many opportunities that when I graduated, I had something of my own to further expand, further grow, further give my time into. So that thought, I didn't get a time to pause and think about it, I guess.
यूजली ऐसा होता है ना कि आपके जहन में एक फियर ऑफ फेलियर होता है. डिड यू हैव दैट?
Of course, it's so natural. Like we as humans, बचपन ही से हमारे जहन में हमेशा होता है, एक डर होता है कि हम कुछ कमिट तो कर लें, हम कुछ काम तो कर लें, but what if we fail? What if it doesn't work out? And it happened to me as well. When I started Connect here in 2017, I went back to school for one semester, and it was very difficult to manage studies and manage work together. I had to compromise a lot, like दोस्तों के साथ hangouts compromise, clubs के अंदर participation compromise. It's only your पढ़ाई and your business. But then, after my one semester with Connect here, we got a grant from Silicon Valley. And once we received that grant, I sort of, realized that this is something that we don't only believe in, but there are external people in the West, people from the startup ecosystem who believe in. और जब मेरे पास वो एक example आई, I took the risk of taking a gap semester. So I decided कि मैं एक पूरा semester miss करूँगी और मैं सिर्फ Connecture पे काम करूँगी. That meant that, I can't be with my friends in all the classes. That meant कि मेरी graduation automatically late हो जाएगी. And of course, I had the fear कि what if I take this gap semester and this doesn't work out? What if Connecture stops like after a few months? Then मैंने जो अपनी पढ़ाई miss की है, अपना life के अंदर एक age का factor miss किया है, how I'm gonna recount it, or how I'm gonna get the benefit of it again. So it was a very fearful step at that time, but I'm glad I took it because it gave me more time to work on my business. And now when I look at it, it's like, अगर मैं fail भी हो जाती, Connecture भी अगर नहीं चलता, it was okay because those 4 months of not studying but completely working on my startup gave me opportunity to travel a lot. 2 out of the 4 months, I was just traveling and talking and meeting people and telling them about Connectia. So I made so many connections, people who are a part of my network, people who I know if I need something from, I just need to call them. And even if they are like CEOs of big companies, they will respond to me and they'll make my work happen. So fear of failure and then risk, it always exists. But then it's always about finding those small things of, benefit that you get out of risking things.
So, like, usually हमारे society में होता है कि when you are 16, 17, you start getting suggestions. ये career ले लो, ये career path ले लो. Did you also get those suggestions from your relatives or extended family?
Not really. I didn't get a lot of like advice because my parents have always been very supportive of whatever I want to do. And they probably just think, I am capable of making something happen. So my dad always wanted me to be a lawyer, but I think that was more of like a joke because I argue a lot at home. But other than that, I was never asked कि ये degree लो या ये career path choose करो. Not even from people around me. But then, of course, my colleagues, my friends from IBA, my people who are around me at IBA, they always, recommend or suggest that you can also do this, you can also become a trainer, you can also go for a night job or stuff like that. So recommendations aati hai, not something that really pushed me कि बस यही पढ़ना है. I had a lot of freedom with that, alhamdulillah. But other than that as well, I think even now, my parents and my people around me trust me that whatever step I would take would be for my benefit because they know I'm a very responsible person.
अच्छा, अब ये बताएं कि नाउ यू सिंस यू आर इन द प्रैक्टिकल फील्ड, ओ एंड ए लेवल्स के बच्चों की जो साइकी होती है ये होती है बस ग्रेड्स ले लो और बस ये just being in the field right now, what would you suggest to them? Okay, how much it is important to have a profile, build up your skill level as compared to just having grades and hoping you will succeed in future?
Yeah. See, you hope you succeed because you believe in yourself and you believe in your skill set. It's so important. अगर मुझे आज कोई बोले ना कि Azima, what's the biggest regret of your life? I would say कि my biggest regret is not starting early. If I started at 19, I could have started at 16 because at that time I was at college. I was doing my intermediate from Khan board and I had a lot of time. I had more time than I did in university. कॉलेज के अंदर यही होता था कॉलेज की पढ़ाई होती थी एंड that is it and I had like the entire time free where I could have worked on my idea. I could have gone out, met people, made connection happen 3 years earlier than I did. So the point is that your grades do matter. I'm not saying stop studying because if you want to go abroad to study, if you want to at least get the education, the skills to implement later in your life, that's great. You need to study, but other than that, try to find things where you can implement your padhai. So हमारी पढ़ाई इतनी theoretical होती है कि if we have something to implement it on, it would be so beneficial. So if you're like very much into biology or chemistry, find something that you can do alongside that you can study and then implement. Maybe you can participate in worldwide competitions, conferences, workshops. I don't understand why people over here. I have met so many young kids who say कि हाँ मुझे ये भी करना है, मुझे ये भी करना है, लेकिन अब तो मैं बहुत छोटा हूँ या छोटी हूँ. When I'll go in university, then करूँगी, graduate होके करूँगी. Age is just a number in today's world where technology is so advanced. Few months ago, I met a girl. She's 15 years old. She approached me and she said that she wants to do a startup weekend kind of thing where people come in and make business ideas. So this 15-year-old girl, she wanted to do it for girls. So she's like, I'm designing a program where teenage girls will come and work on different ideas. She was the ideator, she was the creator. उसने मुझे कैलेंडली की लिंक भेजी एंड शी इज लाइक प्लीज बुक अ स्लॉट विथ मी सो वी कैन सेट अप अ मीटिंग एंड टॉक फर्दर अबाउट इट. व्हेन आई गॉट ऑन दैट Zoom call with that 15-year-old girl, she had a pitch prepared, she had a formal presentation from who she is, what she wants, and how she will make it happen. Perfect pitch. And throughout that time I was just thinking okay, if she did it in 15 years old, I could have done it as well. Others can do it as well. So and it's not like she isn't studying, she is getting homeschooled and I think she was in her O levels as well. तो पढ़ाई भी कर रही है, साथ साथ अपना स्टार्टअप भी मैनेज कर रही है, साथ साथ सीईओ से भी बात कर रही है, प्रोफेशनलिज्म भी दिखा रही है at the age of 15. That means any of us can do it if we just plan and prioritize stuff very smartly. The best thing that happened to me about running a company with university is that whatever I studied at IBA, whatever courses I took, I could implement it directly to my business. Whatever guest speakers I met, I gave all of them my business cards, and they still remember me, and I'm still in contact with them. So it's great if you could do something alongside studies, because it creates so much value to your resume, your CV, your personality. When people talk to you and you're like, hey, I'm 14 and I run this business, you've just wowed them already. So like they're already like praising you, and that should be the goal.
And recently, you won the Diana Award. Could you please tell us a bit about what is Diana Award and what is the criteria? How did you got shortlisted for it and everything?
Yeah, of course. So I got it in 2019. My entire company got it. So Diana Award is a very prestigious award, and they, basically recognize people, organizations that's working together to create social impact in their countries. It's a global award, TK. There are so many people, from different countries, India, Bangladesh, you go to Brazil, everywhere. They pick up these youngsters or individuals that are creating impact, and then they give you this prestigious award. You become a part of the Diana Award directory that has, thousands of individuals from a very long time who have been creating an impact. And you also get an opportunity to fly to United Kingdom and get the award yourself from Princess Diana's brother. So we weren't able to travel at that time due to some reasons, and but there were other people from Pakistan. I know this girl from Bangladesh who went there. She received the award, and then she received a legacy award. पूरी दुनिया के अंदर एक बंदे को लेगेसी अवार्ड मिलता है, and when she got it she was only 20 years old, 2021. So it's to recognize youth who are creating impact in developing countries, and they really look into your profile for that.
So, roughly, what would you say your professional experience is about like 4 years now, or
Yeah, 4 years with Connect here, but I've been working before that as well. So my professional experience have been of 6 years now. I was working as an English language instructor before I started Connect here.
so in जैसे कहते हैं ना 6 साल का निचोड़ इन बच्चों को आप क्या वो एक एडवाइस देंगे कि बीइंग एट अ पॉइंट वेयर दे अबाउट टू गेट इनटू यूनिवर्सिटीज एंड प्लान देयर करियर अहेड how should they work on their skill development and what should be the do's and don'ts because ये इनको अभी समझ नहीं आती कि ये 5-6 साल होते हैं इसकी मेहनत का फल इन्होंने आगे सारी जिंदगी खाना so what would be your advice
So, number one thing is that you can do it. If you have an idea, if you want to make something happen, you do have the potential of making it happen. So, sabse pehle to believe in yourself and believe in your ideas. And I'm not saying it because I did it. I'm saying it because I come from a very non-business background. When I started Connect here, all of us co-founders had 0 rupees in our pocket. We used the resources, जितना free हम resources इस्तेमाल कर सकते थे, हमने इस्तेमाल किया, and we made it happen. And if we can do it, you guys can make it happen as well. Second thing is कि, I mean, I also, really struggle to understand this in my life, but once time is gone, you can never get it back. And the most precious time is the time you have right now. The time and the motivation you will have after today's session. क्या होता है हम कोई सेशन सुनते हैं, we get really motivated, we talk about it for 2 to 3 hours, then we start scrolling Instagram and we completely forget about it. We completely forget what we learned, what do we want to do. So please understand that the time that you guys have today, if you have 5 hours to Netflix and do Instagram, that means you have a lot of free hours in hand. Make use of those hours. There are online courses. You can get into coding and freelancing and content writing, graphic designing. These are such skills that you can easily sit and make money. Like, even when I started Connect here and I didn't have money to pay myself a salary, I used to do content writing, paid content writing kar liya, koi design kar liya project, and, get pocket money out of it. So my recommendation would be to invest in skill set, write blogs. Connectcheer looks for content writers all the time, and these are university kids that get paid to do work. So think about what is the skill set you can invest in. If you have the time right now, the hours right now dedicated towards it, if you have a business idea, it could be any small business idea. It could be pet grooming. If you have a dog yourself and you know how to groom your dog, you can start providing service and start visiting houses and groom other people dogs, right? So think about what is one thing that you're passionate about and you can make a business out of it. अगर आप एक साल भी बिजनेस चलाते हैं, उससे आपको 10,000 रुपए का भी प्रॉफिट होता है, ट्रस्ट मी, अदर देन द मनी, यू विल हैव so much knowledge, so much understanding of how to make things happen, how to do dealings with a customer, how to charge a customer smartly, how to manage your finances really well. And these skills are really, really important. So my number two advice, and very important advice, so that you don't regret like I did, is please start early, start soon, and make the best use of your time. And then third would be to support each other. It is so important to support each other. One thing that I've learned in my 6 years is that if I didn't have the people around me supporting me to make Connecture happen, to make our very first classes happen, when we didn't have an office of our own, we used to work out of the Nest IO for good 2 years. And, we made use of those places and there were people who were supporting us. And think about that. Think about how can you support the business ideas of your peers. If they have an Instagram page, if they're trying to become a blogger, please go follow their accounts on Instagram. Give them positive feedback. If they're trying to become a vlogger, subscribe और उनके लिए 10 और subscribers मोहल्ले से ढूंढ कर लाओ ताकि they can get supported. And please understand that the support that you give, you get it back as well. So it's not like Azima and Connecture, people are just supporting us for no reason. If today any of my fellow business friend who has another business calls me up and they say कि अजीमा हमें एक मीटिंग करनी है और हमें एक ऑफिस स्पेस चाहिए, I will without a second doubt offer them my office. I'll be like, हाँ ऑफिस खुली है, सुबह 10 से शाम तक खुली हुई है, जब भी आना है आओ, एसी चल रहा है, रूम में मीटिंग कर लो आराम से. So support is both ways, and you need to provide that to your peers so that they can grow and develop. Like I just don't like the fact that we're so quick on hating each other's ideas. या फिर अगर किसी की brownies एक दफा अच्छी नहीं होती है, so everyone comes and bash them. But if the brownies were good for like 3 weeks, nobody complimented them. So understand that support system at this age is very important. I am so grateful for all the support I got from my mentors, from my university friends who pushed me, who helped me with my assignments, who did my projects when I had like corporate meetings. वो लोग सब manage करते थे. So please be there for each other. So these would be like three, quick suggestions or learnings that I've had that I like to share.
So now, if any of you guys have any questions, you can either ask them via mic or just type it in the chat box. अजीमा, another question. कभी ये जहन में आया कि मैं बहुत ही एक ऑड काम कर रही हूँ, लाइक होती ना कि लोग क्या कहेंगे या इस तरह करके, कभी इस साइड पे वो जिसके नेगेटिव थिंकिंग वाला कभी पाथ पे नहीं गई, या वो आप उधर ही रोक लेती थी अपने आप को कि नहीं?
I mean, it's a very good question, and I'm only human. So, मेरे ज़हन में भी ऐसी बातें आती थी, and there were people around me who forced me to think that way. So, I always give this example to everyone. So, I come from a very strong deaf background, which means that I have, like, other than my mama, there are 3 other khalas who are also deaf. I have a puppu who's deaf. And उन सबके भी बच्चे हैं जो कि hearing है मेरी तरह, and they also know sign language. So these are my cousins, and we are very close to each other. So when I started Connect here, and I would make these videos. If you guys go visit our Facebook page, go to the very first videos. I look completely different. तो वो सारी हम videos बनाते थे ना. तो my cousins, who have deaf parents themselves, they would come up to me and they would be like, कि क्यों ऐसे videos बनाती हो, and why are you like putting yourself out there, and like तुम्हें ऐसा नहीं होता कि लोग मजाक उड़ाएंगे, तुम ऐसे ऐसे expressions दे रही हो, ऐसे ऐसे हाथ हिला रही हो. So they did tell me that, and at times I used to think कि if people who are from deaf background, if they don't feel strong enough for this cause, how would people who have zero deaf people around them feel that way? Is it even worth it what I'm doing? There were times when I would question myself कि I am not only running a business or providing services, but I'm trying to go to each and every person and tell them कि यार ये deaf community होती है, ये sign language होती है. Sign language एक पूरी जबान है. It's not just हाथ हिलाना, it's proper language. लोगों को educate करना और उनका ignorance देखना. लोग आगे से कह रहे हैं कि ये लोग तो बेचारे हैं, बेचारे रहेंगे, and ऐसा negative, feedback मिलना, that used to make me, think कि why am I going so crazy about it? And is it even going to be worth it at the end of the day if I'm not able to educate a village? Because I can't make a difference being only Azima Dhanji. I need supporters. I need people who understand. But this only happened in 2017. 2018, Connect Here did the first ever deaf inclusive concert with strings. हमने स्ट्रिंग्स के साथ स्टेज पर एक साइन लैंग्वेज इंटरप्रेटर खड़ा किया था. 300 डेफ लोग आए थे उस इवेंट में, एंड दे ऑल वर डांसिंग टू द म्यूजिक, दे वर एंजॉयिंग द म्यूजिक. इफ यू वर देयर योरसेल्फ, आप बता ही नहीं सकते थे कि कौन ऐसे लोग हैं जो सुन सकते हैं और कौन ऐसे लोग हैं जो सुन नहीं सकते. They all looked the same and they were having so much fun. When that event happened, it created so much awareness, so much buzz, that वही cousins जो मुझे बोलते थे कि क्या कर रही हो, क्यों कर रही हो, they came up to me and they were like, we want to become a part of your videos as well. We also want to come on TV. We also want to get covered by Mango Bars. So they started becoming a part of my business themselves. It wasn't like I dragged them, they came themselves. The hearing community, companies started approaching us, universities jo concerts karati thi, they started approaching us. So it just created a very positive impact, not just because Azima kept on talking and talking and talking, because Azima and her team made something happen, did the action, showed the impact, and inspired people to change. The concert itself was covered by Forbes. And if you guys know about the Forbes magazine, you have to pay huge bucks to be a part of that magazine. We got the coverage for free. So you can imagine that once you put your energy into something and making something happen, things start working out as well. And this is for all of you guys. When you start, people would be like, क्यों crazy हो रही हो, या चाय पे क्यों नहीं आ रही हो, बैठ के क्यों meetings attend कर रही हो, चाय पे तो इतना मजा आता है. So you need to show them that why did you miss out on chai and how did your work actually mattered a lot. I hope that answers.
Yes, and there's two questions. Can you see the chat box?
Yes, I'll answer them. So I see Shazib and Hasib. Thank you so much, guys, for asking questions. Shazib, what is the biggest challenge you faced and how did you tackle it? So number one, जो हमारे पास challenge आया था वो ये था कि we had to manage our business and the scale of it along with studies. So that was a huge challenge for me कि मैं किस तरह से अपनी classes manage करूँ IBA के अंदर और मैं अपनी office hours को manage करूँ. So I had to prioritize and plan it really, really well. अगर मेरी सुबह classes होती थी तो I knew that शाम को मुझे office जाना है. अगर शाम को office होती थी तो सुबह मैंने ज़रूर class में जाना है. So it wasn't ifs and buts. I had my timetable figured out. That being said, I also had to, make sure that I'm not compromising on my mental health. I was working like 24 hours a day. I was working on the weekends. So I always used to tell myself to कि अगर 2 हफ्ते बहुत क्रेजी होके काम किया है तो एक दिन छुट्टी लेके दोस्तों के साथ हैंग आउट कर लो, एक दिन शाम को ऑफिस ना जाओ और चाय पे चले जाओ. तो managing your time along with your studies was a huge challenge, but I was able to take care of it because I had priorities in stage. मुझसे ज्यादा इस दुनिया के अंदर कोई टू डू लिस्ट नहीं बनाता होगा. आई हैव अ टू डू लिस्ट ऑन माई लैपटॉप, I have a to-do list on my phone, I have a to-do list on my diary. So whatever is convenient for me, I can check what I need to get done and I make sure I get it done. The second challenge was obviously because we were young. We were like 19 when we started, 20 when we started hiring other people, right? And when you start hiring other people, and if they are like older than you, how do you manage your HR? How do you talk to them? How do you tell them that this is your company and you have some set rules and they have to follow it no matter what their age is. Nobody is asking each other's age right now. So HR perspective say I did find challenge on like how to bring in good talent, how to retain good talent, how to incentivize them so they feel strong about the cause and they stay in the company. A lot of our employees who came and joined Connectia, who started us, who helped us, make it really strong in the beginning, they had to leave because कुछ की जॉब कमिटमेंट्स थी, कुछ की पढ़ाई कमिटमेंट्स थी, कुछ की और प्रायोरिटीज थी. So as an individual, I had to understand that people will come, people will go, but I, being the constant person, has to make sure that I get the work rolling. I don't have even a heartbeat of missing out on anything. So maintaining your HR was also is also a challenge, and I faced that. But then again, I would always stay involved and keep my people happy so that I don't have to face it a lot. So I think these are the two biggest challenges that I faced with Connectia. How you enhance your language when there is so much things to do around, and can you suggest anything about improving English language? Of course. Can you, Hasib, clear out how you enhanced your language when there is so much things to do around? Do you mean sign language, or do you mean like the way that I speak, my oral language? If you can just clear it out. The way you speak, okay. So a lot of it comes with exposure, just going out there and talking to people, communicating with people. ऐसा होता है ना क्लास के अंदर कभी कभार टीचर्स कहते हैं कि who would like to go first, or who would like to share their point of view, who would like to come forward and thank the guest speaker for their time. So try to volunteer for it, go for those opportunities, and try to speak in front of a public. That will give you a lot of confidence. Number two is like just talking to yourself in front of a mirror. People think that it's a no go activity, but honestly I have done it in my life. I would stand in front of a mirror if I have an important presentation, if I have a pitch to do for Connect Here. I would go through it, I would present it to myself by looking at the mirror. And I would, try to record myself, record my timings, record my voice to see कि मैं किस तरह से बात कर रही हूँ. Does that sound appealing? Would people sleep when I talk, or would they stay awake? So I would challenge myself with it as well. About improving English language, I think for most of us, English is a second language, right? So please don't challenge yourself too much, और ये ना कहो कि यार उसकी English तो बहुत अच्छी है और मेरी English अच्छी नहीं है. Try to improve it. You can do it with so many ways. Number one, you can watch, English shows with subtitles. That helps a lot. That has helped me a lot. Watching it, listening to English, and then reading it as well gets a lot of, parts of English language registered in your mind. You get better at how to pronounce words. You get better at how to listen and understand, comprehend words as well. उसके अलावा ये है कि if you have a friend who has good English, recognize that person, tell that person you need their help, and then have like half an hour of like phone call or a Zoom meeting every day where you guys can talk about कि आज पूरा दिन मैंने ये किया, इस Netflix के शो में ये हुआ था, इस मूवी के अंदर ये हुआ था, आज के गेस्ट स्पीकर सेशन में ये बात की गई. तो you can just talk continuously, because it's a language. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Also, please don't feel shy and don't make others feel bad about not knowing a language. I think it happens a lot that if someone comes forward and they're like, we need help with this, some of us try to make them feel bad about it. Do not do that. Once you grow up, once you get in university, you will realize how stupid all of that is. You will realize how people look at others who aren't kind to individuals. If there's someone I'd look at who's not respecting others, I wouldn't want to talk to them. And that is how university and professional life is. So the point of making change is right now. Try to help others. Shazib, how did you initially get people who were interested in your ideas? Was it by ads on social media, or did you elect family members at first? Isn't it a challenge to create a team to support you and have the same motivation as you do? Indeed, it is. It is also a huge challenge, and I'm very happy that you brought it out. When I started Connect here, I was one person. I had to look for people around me who would be interested in my idea. I had my cousins who knew sign language, who had the background, but I knew that they weren't bringing anything new to the table. Moreover, I also thought that maybe because we will have a family relationship, it would be difficult to get work done from them. So I went out and I talked to my high school friends. We were three people. I knew that Arham was very good with technology. He knew his, tech, his computer, his softwares in and out. And I knew that I wanted that talent in my team. So I went there, I talked to him, I convinced him, and I got him as a part of the team. And the second person, Arich, she had the background of making connections. She already knew the Nest.io. She already knew so many companies, and her father was a businessman as well. So when I got to know that, I knew that this would be like a good combination. It wasn't easy because, one of our parents weren't okay with us working with another person. We had to make a lot of people understand that this is an idea, a cause we're working for, and it doesn't matter who we work with. So we got people together like that, the three of us, the people who started Connect here. But after that, we had to look around for other people. हमने सबसे पहले उन लोगों को ढूंढा था जिनके parents deaf थे. So people who had deaf parents, deaf family members who knew sign language, we got them as a part of our team. Some of them came forward and they said it themselves, we have been waiting for this for a very long time, and we would like to serve in this capacity. We also tried to find people with other skill set. Like, for example, we wanted to produce videos for Facebook. So we knew that we had to get someone with a camera, someone who can produce videos. And we looked out for people from students from Zabis joined us at that time, and they were media sciences students. And the best part was that they were looking to intern at places. So, through internship, we got people to come in and join our team and work with us. So you have to look out for these opportunities, like, look out for people who are talented, who have the skill set, who are interested into doing something different, who can commit. That is so important. ठीक है? और उसके अलावा, if people are looking for internship opportunity or opportunity to grow, be there to provide it to them. I have gotten one of the best interns in my life, like this summer. All 5 recruits, all 5 people who joined us as interns this summer at Connect here, they are wonderful talent. And, we got them as a part of our team. We got them, excited and interested in the concept, in the idea, and they will stay as a part of Connect Your family through this internship program. So you have to put yourself out there and keep your eyes open. Use as many mediums as possible. I hope that answers, Shazib.
So I think that will be it. Azima, thank you so much for your time and explaining things in detail. So thank you again, and thank you everyone for joining
Can
in.
I just make a very quick request?
Yes.
Okay, guys, I'm putting in. If you guys liked my session, I would like for you guys to support Connect here even further. I'm putting in some links. If you guys can help us spread the words, we have the very first YouTube channel at Connect here. We have created the first channel that provides sign language interpretation. That's on YouTube. We have a very active Instagram page, and then we also teach sign language. So if you guys can help us spread the words, I'm very quickly just putting in the links on the chat box. Just go visit our Instagram, YouTube, our classes page, and help us out in spreading the words.
Yeah, you feel free to put in the links, and also if there's any like the way they can like volunteer in Lahore, if there's an office or if there's anything you can offer to them in Lahore, please let them know as well.
Yes, we're gonna come to Lahore very soon. So if you guys can just come out, all the details, all the activities we do, everything is available on our social media pages. So if you guys see us coming to Lahore, come and join us and be part of our activities. And if any one of you guys want to get in touch with me for your own personal projects or any other counseling or help or anything you want, just email me. I'm very good with emails.
So thank you again, Azima. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.